Colorado High School Activities Association Baseball is on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network this afternoon from Eddie Underwood Field. It's another Longs Peak League game as the visiting Roosevelt Rough Riders take on the Fort Morgan Mustangs. I'm John Beltran with John Prouty. Another day at the ballpark, John, and these teams are going in opposite directions. Fort Morgan has dropped 8 in a row, and Roosevelt has won 5 straight to move to 7-7. And for Fort Morgan, yes, they've been outpitched in many games, but they've also sabotaged themselves with too many mistakes.
Yeah, and like I've said many times, we've got to figure out putting these errors to bed, and start having clean games because we're rushing the throws and it's simple stuff.
First pitch brought to you by B&B Appliance for more than 30 years, and they just keep going. They have outstanding appliances in Fort Morgan on Ensign Street. That's B&B Appliance, a longtime sponsor of Morgan County Athletics. Isaiah Ortiz will throw the opening pitch to Caden Bryant, right-handed hitter for Roosevelt. Swing and a miss. That was an excellent changeup on the inside corner. And because there's so many mistakes played, you got to make up for it with good hitting and outstanding pitching, which they did get from J.J. Marquez, but that was in relief in that 7-6 loss in Game 1 to Northridge on Tuesday. And the breaking ball hits him on the left side, and that's the thing. We had some hit batsmen the other day.
Yeah, and we sure did, and it's just like, well, that's not how we needed to start. It's not how we want to start. Getting a hit batter, and we've just struggled with, J.J. Marquez pitched a gem the other day, but then we started loading up the bases again, and one hit, and you're down in the runs again. So we got to figure that out.
Brady Mylander hitting for the right side like the previous hitter, now in the box. Ortiz to the plate. Runner going. It's high. The throw to second up the shortstop side, and it bounces in. And it's a stolen base for Caden Bryant. And that's the perfect pitch to run on because a little bit of an off-speed pitch. 1 ball and no strikes. Giuseppe Salvatore hits third. Israel Castillo is the cleanup hitter. Batting fifth is Jack Sanzoni. The pitch fouled off to the right. Dalton Baudino, the right fielder, hits 6th. Mason Sauer will be hitting 7th. Left fielder Wyatt McInerney hits 8th. And Josiah Martinez, the second baseman, hits 9th. For the Mustangs defensively, Michael Strange is at first. Jaden Carrera at second. Miguel Davila at third. Charlie Langford at short. Looking back, and the 1-1. That's inside. In left field is J.J. Marquez. Angel Lopez in center. Braden Hilser in right. Jason Diaz, the senior behind the plate. Isaiah Ortiz now facing a 2-ball, 1-strike count to Mylander. The offering swung on and grounded to second on a 2-hopper to a knee. Carrera fires to first for the out. Bryant to third. And that's one way to make your life a lot easier. If you have to go to a knee, especially on the right side of the infield, don't just stick the glove out there. Get the knee down, because if you knock it down, the ball is right there in front of you, and you throw them out.
And that was how I was always trained, is you get a knee down, so you got that ball, especially when it's a roller like that.
Watch out here, Seppi Salvatore takes a changeup for a strike on the outside corner. We'll run the numbers momentarily. Actually, we won't run them. We'll just check them out. No balls and 1 strike. With a runner at third out of the stretch. The offering outside and low. Count levels at 1-1. Roosevelt is kind of dressed in there. Those are like Eaton uniforms. They're pinstripe all the way down, but different color. It's a navy blue. Maybe even a light black. 1 ball, 1 strike. Breaking ball is inside. It is 2-1 to Seppi Salvatore. The Mustangs at 5-10. Roosevelt 5-5 in league play. 7-7 overall. And the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and lifted into left center field. That is going to find a gap. Marquez to his left reaches out. They had him shaded towards right center. It's a double. And scoring from third easily is Caden Bryant. It's 1-0.
Yeah,
and
he gave that a ride.
But did you see Lopez was shaded into right center?
Yep.
And that was just placed perfectly. So they actually had him played incorrectly.
Yeah.
But that's a scouting report, because Seppi Salvatore likes to pull, and give him credit. He saw the way the outfielders were positioned and went the other way.
Yeah, and if you can play good place ball hitting, you can chew another team up pretty quick.
Israel Castillo. Now the batter. Looking back, and the pitch, and the changeup is in the dirt. Lots of changeup thrown by Ortiz. 1 ball and no strikes. Castillo hitting 300, hitting 337 as a team. And Salvatore extends and increases his average. He was at 489 going in. Chopped over to short. Charging is Charlie. Sets, throws to first for the out. 2 down. And Salvatore to third. He looked over there, but that's a smart play. Just get the sure out.
Right. You always want to get the out. You don't want to give them another runner on and no outs with runners at the corners.
Here is Jack Sansoni. Another right-handed hitter for Roosevelt. Hitting 422, second leading hitter on the team. The wind and the pitch. Breaking balls, a strike on the inner half.
Yeah, he laid that in there really nice.
No balls and 1 strike. Ortiz gets the sign. And the offering. Popped up. Shallow center field. Second baseman Carrera is going to call for it, and he makes the grab. Nice job of Ortiz, limiting Roosevelt to 1 run. 1 run on 1 hit. No errors and a man left. Let's head to the bottom of the first inning. Roosevelt 1, and the Mustangs are coming to bat on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Mustang starting lineup is brought to you by Buildings by Design. They will make your vision a reality. They're involved in many projects at Buildings by Design. BuildingsByDesign.com. For the Mustangs. Batting first is the second baseman Jaden Carrera. Shortstop Charlie Langford at second. The catcher Jason Diaz hits third. Third baseman Miguel Davila is the cleanup hitter. Batting fifth, the center fielder Angel Lopez. Pitcher Isaiah Ortiz at sixth. The DH Chase Prouty bats seventh. Braden Hilser, the right fielder, at eighth. And J.J. Marquez, the left fielder, bats ninth. Castillo's at first. Josiah Martinez at second. Jack Sanzoni at third. Caden Bryant's the shortstop. Wyatt McInerney is in left. Mason Sauer in center. Dalton Baudino is in right. Seppi Salvatore behind the plate. And the right-hander, Brady Mylander. 7 appearances and a 1.47 ERA. He is solid.
Yeah, I was watching him warm up when I was coming in. He's got some stuff.
Fastball is up and in. 1 ball and no strikes to Jaden Carrera, the sophomore, hitting .304. The pitch swung on and chopped to second. That's going to be a 3-hopper and an easy play. A short toss to first by Josiah Martinez for the out. 1 down. And that'll send up Charlie Langford. Langford has had his average drop to .442. Still having a big year, but did not have a good day on Tuesday whatsoever in the doubleheader, and that included on the field too.
Yeah,
so
there were some issues.
Yeah, well, he's looking to bounce back here. The pitch, and he squares to bunt, and he fouls it. No balls and 1 strike to Charlie Langford. 0 for 6 in the doubleheader on Tuesday. The pitch, that's taken for a ball. A little bit of a bender. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-0 Roosevelt on Seppi Salvatore's RBI double. The pitch from the right-hander is inside. 2-1. The game time temp, 75 degrees. The pitch, that's a strike on the outside corner with a curveball, and it's 2-2. To Charlie Langford. Gets the sign. Mylander works quickly. The pitch swung on and tapped foul, third base side. I like the way this guy works.
Yeah, because he's working the entire zone.
Well, but he's getting the ball and throwing too. I see some of these pitchers, they take forever, and your defense doesn't play well when you're that deliberate in between pitches. 2-2 pitch in the dirt with a curveball.
Well,
Now, the negative side is that if he disrupts his own rhythm, he'll work too quickly.
he reminds me of another pitcher I know, Braxton Shelton. Works the
Braxton
same way.
works very quickly, yep. And the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and grounded. What a snag there by the pitcher on the one hopper. And the underhand toss to first by Mylander. And 2 down. That's an outstanding defensive play. Kind of just threw the glove out there to his left.
Yeah, and that was, if he doesn't make that snag, then it's easily a base hit there.
Yeah, without question. Even the second baseman, Martinez, would have had to backhand it if it didn't go into center field, but more than likely would have been an outfield hit. Jason Diaz will now bat, hitting .318. That pitch is a ball. One ball and no strikes. The pitch. Fisted foul off to the right. 1-1 to Jason Diaz. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Threw a BB right by Diaz. It's 1-2.
Yeah.
Went all fastball there.
Yeah, I think Diaz was looking for a breaker.
That one skips away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Start time today was 3:57. 2 down to the bases empty. Bottom of the first inning. And the offering. Swung on and lined and caught by the diving second baseman Martinez. It was hit off the end of the bat, so it didn't have a lot of sting to it. And Martinez still had to dive. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Brady Mylander to the top of the second in 1 minute. Roosevelt leads Fort Morgan 1-0 on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's head to the second inning. Roosevelt leads 1-0 on a gorgeous Thursday in Fort Morgan. We'll be back with you tomorrow in Johnstown when hopefully the Mustangs will start or extend a winning streak, but they've got to win today to do that. After Seppi Salvatore smoked an RBI double in the first inning into the left center field gap.
Yeah, and the wind was blowing in a little bit on that. I think that had that wind not been pulling it back in a little bit, he could have.
You're right. That could have gone even longer.
Over. Yeah,
that's right.
Because another 20 feet and he's over the fence.
Here's Dalton Baudino hitting .259, a sophomore, right-handed hitter. The pitch. That's a strike fastball on the outer half. Belt high, it's 0-1. From the right-hander, Isaiah Ortiz, I-Z-I-A-H. And the offering. Line down the right field line. That is going to be foul.
Good thing that was foul.
Well, he took an inside-out swing, and anytime you do that, it's going to twist away from the line and from the right fielder.
That spin on the ball is just going to naturally carry it out. But I'll tell you, Ortiz has got good command of the zone right now. He's working all his pitches on.
Yeah, you don't want to throw a strike here though on an 0-2. If it's a strike, you better make it on the corner. 0-2 pitch. That's a great pitch in the dirt, but it was a breaking ball, and you get the hitter thinking about it.
Well, and not only that, you know, if you're lucky, you get him chasing too.
Well, that's right. That's the intent.
Yeah.
And the 1-2 offering popped up, shallow center. Here comes Angel Lopez to make the running catch, the one-handed catch. And there's one out. John, that almost became what you and I know as no man's land.
It did, and you had 3 people converging on it. And fortunately, Angel had the wherewithal to call everybody off. Because you see, they finally heard him and they pulled off. So.
Well, without that trajectory, it would have dropped in, but it had enough altitude on it that he chased it down. Here's Mason Sauer. Batting for the right side. The offering. Beautiful breaking ball for a strike. Mason Sauer hitting .273. Diaz lays down the sign. And the pitch in the dirt with a changeup there. 1-1. The breaking ball and the changeup have similar action. They both descend, because it's definitely more of a curveball when he throws it as opposed to a slider. 1-1 Here to Mason Sauer. Ortiz ready. He kicks and fires. Down and away. Ball 2, strike 1. Yeah, I think Isaiah, if he gets a strikeout in this game, or 2 or 3, that would be a lot. He's going to pitch to contact, undoubtedly.
Right. And I think that's the right choice for him.
No, it's the only choice, really. The pitch, fouled.
He throws some good junk. Let him hit the junk and get, and let your infield and outfield do some work for you here.
Right. I mean, you got to utilize your stuff. If you do that, then you're pitching the way you're supposed to.
Yep.
2-2. Then it's about location. The pitch, swung on and grounded to second. Here comes Carrera, and he sidearms to first. 2 down.
Just like that. Yeah, and like I said here, I think a couple games ago, I knew a really good junk pitcher with great placement, Nicholas Beltran.
Yeah, that was a while. Yeah, he actually, his sophomore year was better than his senior year. Didn't pitch that well his senior year, but
yeah, COVID kind of screwed that all up for him. Unfortunately, those kids, they got some stuff taken away from them with COVID. Because I think they could have gone back to the final.
Well, certainly the following year, when Ortega, Nick Norris, and
they had a
Javi Baqueta, they had their senior years wiped out. Here is Wyatt McInerney, 2 down and the bases empty. The offering, that's in the dirt with a breaking ball, or a changeup, 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 Roosevelt, top of the second.
Well, and give your credit to the catcher out there. He's doing some work behind the plate too.
Yeah, luckily nobody's on base. Diaz has been playing really well. The offering, that's a little bit low, just missed. 1 with a breaking ball, 2 balls and no strikes. Here is the danger zone. When you are a finesse pitcher and you're behind in the count, you might have to go with a fastball, and if it's down the middle, it could get cranked. 2-0. 1 with a breaking ball, that's a strike. That's why you pitch in that format.
Yep. And that's the gutsy move there, because the instinct is to throw the BB and hope that you get it by him.
Yeah, tough to do that. 2-1, the offering, and he short-armed that, and it skips all the way to the screen. It's 3-1. Well, remember the first run and the only run scored because of a hit batter and then a double.
Yep. And again, that's where you just can't get those guys on base.
And that's a walk. Pitch down and away. And Josiah Martinez will now hit. And John, walks are not errors, but in a way, if you walk 2 or 3 guys, that almost equals an error.
Well, and I had a wonderful baseball coach, and he would say walks are opportunities for the other team.
Right, and so are errors.
Yeah. I mean, you're creating opportunities, you're beating yourself.
Throw back to first, and back in diving is McInerney. Martinez awaits. Runner goes. It's outside. The perfect throw in the tag, and out at second base.
That was perfect. And he did not get a good jump on that.
That goes 2-4. Carrera applies the tag, and they're done in the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and the base is left empty. 1.5 complete. It is Roosevelt 1, Fort Morgan nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Here's Miguel Davila as we progress to the bottom of the second. Roosevelt leads 1-0. Winding the pitch from the right-hander Mylander is a strike. A bottom of the zone strike.
Yeah, I was going to say, did we change the zone?
The wind and pitch, and he swings and lines it into left field for a base hit beyond the diving Sansonia third. And that's the first hit of the game for the Mustangs. Davila was hitting .314 going in. And here's Angel Lopez. And again, knowing Coach Langford and his philosophy, and also realizing, John, that Lopez is not 100% physically with his legs.
Right.
A bunt is in order.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And hitting just .229, by the way, so a bunt could be more in order. The stretch and the pitch. Swung on, grounded foul at the end of the bat. Well,
not
swung away.
Bunt. Yep, not going to be a bunt.
Well, that could still change.
Well, it could. And I just know, and I would agree that the last couple times I've seen him, he's pulled up a couple times because of some hamstring issues, and hopefully he doesn't have that issue today.
The pitch swung on and lifted down the right field line. If it stays fair, that's trouble, and it's foul. No balls and 2 strikes.
Well, and that wind is coming in just out of left field, just enough to carry. It was high enough, and it's carrying that ball out, and it was an inside-out swing like we talked about earlier.
And the thing is that Angel's bat is going in that direction, but not his body. If you
Right.
want to keep that thing fair, you got to pull all the. You just can't swing the bat.
Right.
The body's got to go through, and that'll keep the baseball more
Everything flows
between
through
the lines. Yeah. Because he's got that open stance, and he's not going the other way with his entire body. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and he's way out in front of the breaking ball.
Yep.
And it's a strikeout. That's why I suggested a bunt. You're a 229 hitter, and you know that you're struggling to score runs as a team. And here is Isaiah Ortiz.
Yeah, he kind of fanned that one. He was anticipating another fastball and got the changeup and was way out in front of it.
293 for Ortiz. The Mustangs as a team hitting 293, so their average has gone under 300. Fouled off the right side. No balls and 1 strike. Roosevelt with a 1-0 lead with 1 out, 1 on in the bottom of the 2nd inning. And Brady Mylander having command of the strike zone. Both teams have 1 hit in the game, but Roosevelt's was an RBI double. The pitch swung on line, caught. That'll be a double play. Stepping in the bag is Israel Castillo. Miguel Davila is doubled up, and the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the bases left empty. 1-0 Roosevelt on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Along with John Prouty, I'm John Beltran. To the 3rd inning we go. 1-0 Roosevelt. And they're going to be sending up the top of the order. Well, actually, Josiah Martinez, the 9-hitter, will lead off, John, and that's how critical it was for Jason Diaz to throw out the base runner McInerney, because instead of starting with the top of the lineup, now you go 9-1-2.
Yeah, and so that, it eases the pressure a little bit. But
still got to get the hitter out, though.
Still got to get him out.
Ortiz looks into the target. The pitch, that's a changeup, a little bit below the knees. 1 ball and no strikes. Roosevelt is stranded, the only runner of the game. The offering. Curveball is a gorgeous pitch.
Yeah, that was a beauty right in there. Broke right in.
1 ball and 1 strike. Isaiah's working quickly, which is beneficial as well. Popped up right side. Second baseman Carrera to his left, edge of the grass. Makes the grab, 1 out. John, again, when your off-speed pitches are working, they swing underneath it. You get a lot of pop-ups.
Yep, 100% of the time. I mean, you're going to get those pop-ups, and that's where you just, throw the junk and let them hit, and kind of a little bit of the opposite as you throw to contact.
Oh, no, that's what he's doing. Caden
Yeah.
Bryant hit by a pitch his first time up, and he scored the game's only run. And the breaking ball is upstairs. To Caden Bryant, right-handed hitter for Roosevelt. These got to be new uniforms, or maybe 2 or 3 years old. I don't remember these uniforms for Roosevelt in years past.
I don't either.
1-0. Curveball is fouled back.
No, I think these are new uniforms.
Well, yeah,
I mean, I always like a pinstripe uniform anyway, but
oh, yeah, without a doubt.
They look good.
Oh, yeah, Brush has them. Brush has had them for a few years now. Roosevelt, Eaton really started that.
Yeah, they really did.
And the 1-1 pitch, and he short-armed that one. Anytime he turns a little bit too early, then it's just the arm coming across, and that's where Isaiah can't reach the plate. But luckily, it hasn't happened too many times.
And you talked about him going a little quicker, and when he does, he doesn't think about it so much. He just throws.
Exactly. 2-1. Ortiz pitching to Caden Bryant. Here it is. Swing and a miss through the heater right by him on the outer half. It's 2-2.
Yeah, that was a beaut. Get him reaching that way out there.
Well, he picked up that velocity. Remember Roosevelt on a 5-game winning streak. Here's a 2-2 pitch to Bryant, way outside. See, again, when he spins out of his motion too early, very easy to read. That was what they call that pitch, John, is a non-competitive pitch.
Yeah.
Because it's a ball right
But
off the
it's
hand.
right off the hand, yeah.
It was never a strike at any point of the flight of the baseball. 3-2, the offering. Swung on and lifted towards center. Lopez to his left, going back, still going back. It's going to go over his head. Around first is Bryant, headed for second. It's a one-out double for Caden Bryant. He got a good hold of that. It didn't look like it was hit that well, but it was.
Yeah, it really was, and it carried, and Angel had a little bit of a misread on it because he started coming in and then realized it was over him and took off running backwards.
Wow, those balls hit straight away are very difficult to judge.
Yeah, that was a nuke going out there.
Brady Mylander grounded to second in the first. And now bats for Roosevelt in the third, looking to extend a 1-0 lead. Runner off of second. And the pitch, down and away.
Well, and you talked about Roosevelt being on a 5-game winning streak, and the one thing about that is you're always 1 game away from a loss.
Yeah, that's it. You're right. 1 ball and no strikes. And is that a balk? Well, something happened. It is a balk, yep. And the third is Bryant.
Yeah, I think that the umpire was saying when he came set, he did a double set.
Yep. That's exactly what it was. And the Mustangs will keep the infield back early on in this game. The pitch in the dirt with a curveball. It's 2-0. Isaiah's strike-to-ball ratio is still not very good. 20 strikes and 19 balls. He's still battling a bit. He has made quality pitches. That fastball's up and in.
Yeah, that balk kind of rattled him around a little bit, I think.
3-0, the offering, and he short-armed that completely. Yeah, he's got to get back to being consistent with his mechanics.
Yeah, like I said, the balk kind of rattled him a little bit, and so now he's got to figure out how to just turn that page because you can't get it back.
And this Roosevelt schedule, John, is even busier. 5 games in 5 days. Okay, they just played on Monday. They beat the Academy 23-10. Took a doubleheader on Tuesday from Mountain View. Fort Morgan today, Fort Morgan tomorrow. So that's 5 games in 5 days, even more than Morgan's playing.
Yeah.
So and my point being is that these pitchers cannot just be taken out.
No.
They need to stay in there. First and third, 1 out. And that's in the dirt. It skips away up the first base side. Runner's going to score. Here's Bryan sliding head first. And the trail runner advances to second. It's 2-0 Roosevelt. Well, and Isaiah's got to readjust his mechanics.
Yeah.
He's starting to scuffle even worse than he was before.
Well, and this is where Diaz as a catcher needs to go out there and just say, hey, calm down, turn the page, let's get through this. And
a balk, a hit batter, a walk, and 2 wild pitches. The pitch. Fastball, breaking ball is upstairs, 2-0.
Well, and I think what he's trying to do now is make up for that balk and trying to strike everybody out, which is he had the great game plan in the beginning of just throwing the junk and throwing to contact.
Well, he's still throwing junk, but he can't find the strike zone.
Right.
2-0 pitch. Swung on, base hit down the right field line. The base runner, Mylander, held up at third. He's going to hold up right there. Well, you can't fall behind in the count either.
Yeah, and that was a good stop by Hilzer. He was shaded over to the right field line and was right there to make that stop and get it back in. So, saved the run.
I mean, the one constant that is held in every one of these Mustang losses, even in the high-scoring games, they have been outpitched. They've been outpitched because there's either too many walks or because not in every game have they committed more errors.
No.
The first game they lost to Northridge, Northridge committed 2 more errors in Fort Morgan, and they still won the game.
Yeah.
First and third with 1 out. And the offering. Swung on and grounded left side, headed for left field. There's a dive by Langford. His throw to first is going to be in time. What a play by Charlie Langford. That's an all-star play. A run scores. And it's 3-0 Roosevelt. Give the RBI to Castillo. Mylander crosses home plate. And Salvatore to second. And that's a play the Mustangs needed desperately.
Yeah, that was a wonderful play. Like you said, an all-star play by Charlie Langford, making that diving stop, getting up and firing that ball to first base on the money to get the out.
2 down for Jack Sansoni, who popped up in his first plate appearance. The pitch, that's a strike. What we've seen in this game is that when Isaiah's throwing strikes, his defense is playing.
Right. And it's just one of those that they've got to help him get him the confidence again on the mound to just throw strikes.
And hopefully Charlie just did that.
I hope so.
With that play, the pitch. Breaking ball is inside.
Yeah, he kind of jumped out a little, and I think had he stayed in there, he'd have worn one.
He would have
been on
yeah,
first.
It would have hit him. 1-1. Dalton Baldino's on deck. Awaiting the pitch. Here it is, and that bounces to the plate.
Yeah, and like you said, he hurries that and short arms it, and
there's no opportunity for a strike. There's no opportunity. They all fall so short.
And you got 2 outs. Focus on the batter.
You're right about that. 2-1. Here it is. High with a breaking ball. 3-1.
Yeah, he's got to get this back now.
I just go change up here. I would not throw a curveball. Oh, well, you know what? A base is open, so it wouldn't kill you if you put the guy on. 3-1. And that's a breaking ball in the dirt, and it's okay. First and second with 2 down for Baldino.
But he's making Diaz work back there now this inning.
Yeah, luckily, since Ortiz doesn't throw hard, the balls are normally not going to skip away too far, even though we did have a wild pitch in the inning. Baldino popped to center his first time up. Looking back, the pitch. Breaking ball is outside. Yeah, his ball-to-strike ratio now is awful. 28 balls and 23 strikes. Looking back, and the 1-0, and that's not even close, and that one skips away. Runners will advance. Another wild pitch, Salvatore to third. And into second is Sansoni.
Well, and I'm one of those old-school catchers. Go out there, talk to your pitcher, get him calmed down, get his head back in the game.
If you have to be coached to do that, I mean, but I don't know. You know, like I said, I'm with you. I agree. 2-0 pitch in the dirt.
Because the problem is right now he's just too much in his head.
Well, here's what's going to happen.
He's trying to make a play here, and it's not happening.
Here's what's going to happen. He's going to walk this hitter, and then the catcher's going to go out, but so is Coach Langford. Sometimes as a player, it'd be nice if you did that on your own. 3-0 pitch. That's outside. We should have a visit to the mound now.
Yep.
Here we go.
Well, and you called that on the money.
Well,
I mean, it's just a natural – that's just what's going to happen.
But I think at some point – I mean, unless there's a rule that, you know, the catcher, like that doesn't count as a visit.
No, it doesn't count as a mound visit. And the catcher can always go out there and just say, hey, calm it down, calm it down. We got this. And go back again. That's all I would do. I wouldn't give him a big speech or walk all the way to the mound. I just go out there and just, hey, calm down. You got this. And go back to – and sometimes that's enough to get them back in their zone again.
Well – if he doesn't get this hitter out, then the game's going to get out of hand.
Yeah. Well, because we got bases loaded now, and this is where we get into these predicaments. We load up these bases, and they get one good hit, and they clear a couple of runs on us, and then it just starts adding up.
Mason Sauer grounded to second his first time up. 3-0 Roosevelt, but there are 2 down in the top of the third inning. That's the good news.
Yeah. I mean, we've scored 2 already.
Here's the wind and the pitch. Swung on line, base hit into center field. That's going to score a run. Here's Sansoni stepping
no.
on third. The ball gets loose in the outfield. It's booted by Lopez. Throw to third is late. It's a 2-run single, and the first error of the game. It's committed by the Mustangs, and it's 5-0 Roosevelt.
Yeah, and it looked like Lopez kicked the ball. Like he was coming in to field it and got on his foot and it kicked it. Kicked it wide about 15 feet.
Wyatt McInerney is the 9th hitter of the inning. He was the one that was thrown out at second to end the second. Walked his first time up the pitch. That's outside with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. But all these runs are earned.
Yeah, and at least that is the case. You don't want to have unearned runs going in.
And the pitch. Strike, breaking ball, 1-1. But again, Coach Langford has no other option but to keep Ortiz out there almost to the pitch count of 110 because of the game tomorrow. The offering. Breaking ball is outside. And John, this is an opportunity for other pitchers. Maybe you haven't seen a lot of action this year, because I don't care who you develop outside of pitching. If the pitching can't hold up,
right,
the rest of the team can't catch up. Swing and a miss and a ball in the dirt. 2-2.
Well, and sometimes, like you said, that's the time that you do bring in your other pitchers that don't, because the other teams, there's no scouting report on them. They haven't seen them.
And good pitching makes up for a lot of other deficiencies.
Yeah.
2-2. Pitch to McInerney. In the dirt. That one skips away. And going back to third.
They got him.
Well, runners caught between second and third, and they're going to break for the plate. And that throw and the slide and out at the plate.
Yeah.
That was a base running mistake there by Mason Sauer, and then thrown out at the plate was Baldino on the throw in from Carrera. So the Mustangs catch a little break to end the inning, but nonetheless, the damage is done. 4 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and a base runner left. 2.5 complete. In Fort Morgan, the Mustangs trail Roosevelt 5-0 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. 5-0 Roosevelt to the bottom of the third. And the pitch, that's a fastball for a strike on the inner half to Chase Prouty, junior DH. Chase batting .263, swung on and fouled to the backstop on a pitch up in the zone. Prouty, Hilzer, and Marquez in the bottom of the third. Mylander's given up a hit, but he's faced the minimum because of the double play. The pitch, breaking ball, way outside.
Well, and I don't know why. I was just thinking to myself, I haven't heard of Holy Mahungus this year. So
no, I mean, hopefully some point. The pitch, swing and a miss, but the ball gets away. It'll be a strikeout, but Prouty will reach on the breaking ball in the dirt.
And that's good base running. He never looked. You know, you get those batters that'll turn around and look. And
yeah, you can't do that.
He just dropped and went.
Well, he knew that it went away. By the way, I think I might have had one that's playing in a promo when Charlie hit a home run.
Yeah,
over the right field fence. So that's probably the only one.
It is. Because now that you mentioned it, I think that's the Holy Mahungus I heard.
Right. Here's Braden Hilzer. The pitch. Swung on and grounded weakly to second. The play is going to be to first. Charging and flipping to first is Martinez. Advancing to second is Prouty. There's one down. And that'll bring up J.J. Marquez, hitting .216. See, bats in the bottom of the third with one out. 5-0 Rough Riders. The pitch, swing and a miss. That was a laser. He threw right by him. It's 0-1.
It was. That had some mustard on it.
Mylander gets a sign. And the offering. Swung on and fisted up the middle. Second baseman Martinez plays it off his glove. Oh, that's going to be scored an error. If he feels that cleanly, Marquez is out.
Yeah.
Not an easy play, but if he makes that play cleanly, Marquez would have been out.
Yeah, and he just it just bounced off his glove. And he was running in on a backhand, so.
Yeah, I mean, some errors are tough.
That was. I mean, it was an error, but it was a tough error.
Jaden Carrera grounded to second his first time up. The Mustangs have hit virtually everything on the right side. The pitch, swung on and tapped foul, third base side. Fort Morgan with a couple of runs can get right back into the game, trailing 5-0 in the third with runners at the corners. Prouty and Marquez, third to first. The pitch, swing and foul tipped into the glove of Salvatore. It's 0-2.
Carrera was looking fastball, and he threw him a changeup.
No balls and 2 strikes. Might go high fastball here.
I would.
The pitch, fouled, and it was a fastball that was elevated.
Yeah, and I think Carrera knew that it was going to be just enough to get a swing on it and poke it off.
Remains at 0-2. 9 locations across northeast Colorado and Nebraska means there's always one close by. Rudy's Tires, they bring you 10-10 preps and more every weekday, 1 to 2 on 10-10. KSIR, the pitch, outside with a curveball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Roosevelt scored a run in the first and 4 in the third. That's how they have this 5-0 lead. Both teams with an error in this game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Marquez, the trail runner with a short lead, fouled.
Well, and he's having a good at bat, battling up there and staying alive on the junk balls that are being thrown at him.
1-2 to Carrera, sophomore. All right-handed hitting lineup for the Mustangs. The pitch, swung on and tapped slowly second base side. It'll score a run. Martinez charges, throws to first for the out. Prouty scores. It's 5-1. Give Carrera the RBI. And a second is J.J. Marquez. Charlie Langford hit that one hopper that was snagged by the pitcher, Mylander. How about something in the outfield to make it 5-2 or even further than that? But as you mentioned earlier, John, the wind has been knocking balls down.
Yeah, it really has. It looks like it's died down a little bit. But
Skipped
I don't know.
To the backstop, and that'll advance the runner to third on the wild pitch.
But again, you don't know what the wind's doing when you get 25, 30, 50 feet off the deck. Could be howling the other way.
1 ball and no strikes to Charlie Langford. Mylander to the plate, fouled. Late swing on the fastball, elevated fastball. It's 1-1.
Well, and we saw Charlie swing at a really high one the other day, trying to get something going.
The pitch, swung on and
nice.
lifted towards right field. That'll be a routine play. The catch is made by Dalton Baudino. And the inning is over. The Mustangs score a run. No hits, 1 error, and 1 left. To the fourth we go. Roosevelt 5, Fort Morgan 1 on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Isaiah Ortiz has been taken off the mound. It is Miguel Davila. So with that, Jaden Carrera goes to third. Ortiz to second. And John, let's hope it's a better outing for Miguel. He was hit hard in that 6th inning against Northridge in a 12-2 loss, which ended the game in 6 innings.
Yeah, they were pinging him hard, so hopefully his junk is working for him today.
Here's Wyatt McInerney. Yeah, do they not know they got to turn the music off there? Swung on and lifted to right field. That's got some carry to it. Hilzer's way back towards the fence, and he can't get to it. Around first is McInerney, into second. McInerney's going for 3, and he's going to get an easy triple to lead off the top of the 4th inning. And that is hit number 5 for the Rough Riders.
Well, and we were just talking about hoping that he had a better outing in that first pitch. He just crushed it right out into right field.
Josiah Martinez popped to the second baseman, Carrera, who's now playing third. They're going to get that run right back. The infield is playing back. Miguel to the plate. Curveball is a beauty. Right down the middle, it's 0-1. Not a good outing for Isaiah. He threw 60 pitches and only 26 strikes. The pitch in the dirt. Skips up the third base side, but no advance by the runner at third. 1 ball and 1 strike. And if the Mustangs don't rally, this will be a 9-game losing streak headed to Johnstown tomorrow. And Roosevelt has hit the ball the last inning plus. Fastball is high. Ball 2, strike 1.
Well, they got to get something going here.
Also have the Brush University game tomorrow with Kevin Fergus on 1010 KSIR. The pitch. That's on the outside corner. Strike 2. Good spot by Miguel Davila. Little ground ball to the right side by Martinez would score the run. The infield again is playing back. They just want to get some outs and not let this game get out of hand. 2-2 pitch. Swung on, popped up, foul territory, out of play. Well, and that's the thing is that outside of Charlie, when he's on, the Mustangs don't have a strikeout pitcher. So you have to rely primarily and almost exclusively on defense. 2-2 pitch in the dirt, skips to the backstop. That scores the run. McInerney steps on home plate. 6-1.
And that almost looked like he was aiming it.
Roosevelt, he did aim it. Yep, you're right.
You can't, I mean, as a pitcher, you can't ever aim it because it's not going to work.
So 3-2 on Josiah Martinez, the number 9 hitter in the lineup. You cannot walk him. Let him earn his way on base. Line and towards right field, a base hit. 1 hop to Hilser. 6 hits now for Roosevelt. And what a masterful job going the other way by Martinez.
Yeah, it was hit right out over first baseman's head, right into a looper, right into right field, and for a base hit. And those are just good hits.
Caden Bryant, is he going to? No, he's just waiting for the plate. He's a right-handed hitter.
Yeah.
Bryant was hit by a pitch and scored, then hit that double over the center fielder Lopez and scored. Perfect day so far for the shortstop, Caden Bryant. The pitch, breaking ball is up and away. And you know what Roosevelt's thinking, John? They don't want to play 7 innings. The only benefit to not playing 7 innings for either team's you save pitching, but that's not what the Mustangs want. The pitch, outside, 2-0. Keep in mind that Fort Morgan pitching, they've thrown 70 pitches and only 31 have been for strikes. It's tough to, kind of tough to compete when you're well under 50%. The offering, that's way outside. Again, that's what they establish in baseball, competitive versus non-competitive.
Right.
A competitive pitch at some point out of the hand starts or will be a strike at some point in flight.
Right.
But when they're just laying off, it was never a strike even out of the hand.
Well, we've seen
and that is
4
a
consecutive
little bit low.
balls.
Yep. That was close, but it's ball 4.
Yep. It was closer. At least it was over the plate. Everything else was outside.
Well, John Brady Mylander has not walked a hitter, and Mustang pitchers have issued 5 walks.
Right.
Not errors, but they're equivalent to opportunities, as you mentioned earlier. Here's Mylander. 0 for 1. The pitch going to bunt, and he takes it low. I think John Prouty has mentioned on several occasions, including in this game, this could be an opportunity to take a visit to the mound.
Yeah.
Somebody. It doesn't always have to be the catcher, by the way, but just anybody. 1-0 pitch. That's high with a fastball. And you know, if you're a coach, you're handcuffed.
Well,
But you do have the option. You know what? If this guy who's been pitching can't do it, another guy's been pitching can't do it, bring in somebody.
Bring somebody new.
Exactly. So you're not completely handcuffed.
No.
2-0. Throw back to second, and it sails into center field, but backed up by Lopez. I mean, he was well off the bag, but it would take a perfect throw and tag to nail the lead runner, Josiah Martinez. 6-1 Roosevelt. Nobody out. A run across in the top of the 4th inning. And Miguel Davila down in the count 2-0 to the opposing pitcher, Brady Mylander. Big lead for Martinez. The pitch, and that got him. Oh, yeah, easily above the left ankle. And the bases are loaded for the 2nd straight inning. And that's the 2nd hit batter in the game. And now you're facing their best hitter of the season and their best hitter of the game, Seppi Salvatore, who is 2 for 2.
Well, and I see Coach Langford coming out to the mound for a visit.
He's got an RBI double.
And I saw him saying something into the dugout as he came out, so I don't know what he's doing. I can't see the bullpen.
Yeah, there's no activity in the bullpen, at least that we see from here. We're kind of blocked off by the overhang. But 6-1. Roosevelt with the lead, nobody out. And this is starting to reek of a short game, but J.J. Marquez, who was the savior in Game 1.
They're going to bring him back.
He's going to come in to pitch on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. J.J. Marquez threw 3 innings on Tuesday, but only 29 pitches, so he can go as long as he wants in relief. And this is Seppi Salvatore with the bases loaded, top of the 4th inning, 6-1 Roosevelt, and nobody out. And Salvatore is 2 for 2. The pitch, that's a strike with a fastball on the outside corner. It's 0-1. JJ's been the best pitcher for the Mustangs this week. And the assortment of games, they'll have another one tomorrow in Johnstown. The offering outside. At third is Martinez. Caden Bryant at second. Brady Mylander at first. And this is a big, strong left-handed hitter with a ton of power. And the 1-1. Fastball is upstairs. Ball 2, strike 1. Out of the stretch with the bases loaded. Chest level with a glove. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and popped up to left field. This will score a run. Ranging back, making the catch is, see if that's Carrera. Now the throw back to second, and it's going to be a double play. Terrible base running by Bryant at second. Martinez scores, and the catch made in left field. And it's 7-1. That is Carrera out there who made the play. Wow, that was incredibly bad base running. Gives Salvatore the RBI and the sac fly. And there's 2 down. The pitch low. And now only a runner at first. Yeah, awful base running there by Bryant. The pitch inside, it's 2-0. Yeah, 7-1 is the score. Tell them that. It's on the board, they've got 6-1. A run did score on the play. The pitch swung on, grounder to third. There is Davila. He sets, he fires. And the inning like that, or the half inning, is over. Well, that could have been a lot worse for Fort Morgan. 2-run score on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left to the bottom of the 4th. 7-1 Roosevelt on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. All right, let's hit the bottom of the 4th inning. It's Roosevelt with a 7-1 lead on Fort Morgan. This is the top of the hour, 5 o'clock Mountain Time. Morgan County's B106, KPRB, Brush, Fort Morgan. Jason Diaz lined to the second baseman in his first plate appearance. The pitch, swing and a miss on a fastball up and in. Diaz, Davila, and Lopez in the home half of the 4th inning. And the offering. Outside corner for a strike. Another fastball. It's 0-2. Mylander had plenty of time to rest, and he's firing that baseball. He's thrown just 9 balls. The offering, very high. Yeah, it's amazing. These visiting pitchers come in here. They're more comfortable with the mound than the Fort Morgan pitchers.
Yeah.
1-2. Swung on and lifted towards shallow left field. That is going to be caught by the shortstop, Caden Bryant. A leaping shallow left field. He makes the play, 1 out.
Yeah, that was a great play by the shortstop there.
Well, that's a second soft line drive that
Yep.
Diaz has hit. It was the second baseman Martinez who made the catch in his first plate appearance. Here's Miguel Davila, who singled left. In fact, Davila has Fort Morgan's only base hit. Then he was doubled up on a line drive. The pitch, swing and a miss. Fastball, threw it right by him. It's 0-1. Brady Mylander to the plate. Fouled off to the right. No balls and 2 strikes. Whether you're a traditional or non-traditional student, you get a certificate at
You got the foul tip on that.
njc.edu on a breaking ball. Remains at 0-2. That's Northeastern in Sterling. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bases empty. 7-1 Roosevelt, bottom 4. The pitch in the dirt with a breaking ball. Count moves to 1-2. Rockies were playing a very high-scoring game today. I don't know what the final was. I'll have to check that. The offering popped up foul territory. The catcher, Salvatore, towards the screen, makes the grab. 2 down. And, John, you being a former catcher, I think you were very impressed. Just flip off the mask.
Yep.
And position yourself underneath the baseball. That was textbook baseball for a catcher.
It was. And he read it, kept moving, drifting with the ball, and just read it right into the glove.
Angel Lopez struck out swinging on 3 pitches his first time up. The pitch, tapped foul, third base side. It's 0-1. To Angel Lopez. For over 100 years, Premier Farm Credit, providing affordable, reliable, and consistent credit. Swung on and grounded to short. Bryant to his left on the third hop. Slings it to first high, but coming down and making the tag is the Roosevelt first baseman, Israel Castillo, and that completes the out. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Brady Mylander. 4 complete. The Rough Riders lead the Mustangs in Fort Morgan 7-1 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Top of the 5th at 7-1 Roosevelt. Rocky scored 6 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning and rallied from a 9-4 deficit to beat the Padres at Coors 10-9. So they split the 4-game series. And stepping in for Roosevelt is Jack Sansoni. 0 for 1, popped to second and walked. 4 runs in the third is the big difference in the game. J.J. Marquez to the plate. Strike. Down the middle at the knees. And the reason J.J. has been throwing so well, again, no wasted energy.
Right. Good mechanics.
The offering. And the breaking ball's down and in. Well, and J.J. rarely aims or short arms. He uses a good portion of his body, the pitch. See how he rears back, and that's a little bit high.
Oh, yeah, I don't know where he missed on that one because it looked like it dropped.
Oh,
in.
he missed. He missed in the strike zone.
Yeah.
2-1.
I mean, it broke right in.
Yeah, I have no idea why that was called a ball. There's no way that's a ball. But you can't get them all. You're not 100% as an umpire. 2-1
Right.
pitch. Popped foul, not a play off to the right.
Hence the reason for the push for the electronic strike zone.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm a fan of that. I mean,
I'm not. It takes away from the game.
it's too much already. I mean, at what point are just how many reviews are we going to have?
Right.
2-2. Here's the wind and the pitch. Drilled foul down the left side.
Boy, he was all over that, though.
Yeah, but out in front was Sansoni.
That was a long foul ball.
2
Way
balls
out
and 2. Yeah, hit at least 300 feet. 2-2 to the Roosevelt third baseman, right-handed hitter. J.J. Marquez to the plate in the dirt. Ball 3, strike 2. 5, 6, and 7 in the 5th for Roosevelt. And the offering. Swung on, grounded foul along the third base side. Remains at 3-2. No Saturday baseball. Prom in Fort Morgan, prom in Brush. So nothing until next week on the Eastern Plains Sports Network after tomorrow's action. Tuesday, Fort Morgan's at Riverdale Ridge. Brian Nick will be with you there. Swung on and grounded to short. Charlie Langford right there. Fires to first, 1 out. And that sends up Dalton Baldino, who has popped out and walked. 0 for 1. Oh, I actually like that the sun has disappeared. It's so nice and cool out there. It's taking an effect in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, get out to the ballpark if you're listening. It's perfect weather. You want to be outdoors, especially if you're just getting out of work. The pitch, that is over but low. 1 ball and no strikes to Dalton Baldino.
Well, especially since this weekend the weather doesn't look that great.
Well, Sunday's not too bad. Saturday's a disaster. 1-0 offering. That's a strike.
That was a beauty right over the plate.
On the outer half, thigh high. It's 1-1. Laying down the sign is Diaz. And the offering inside. That did miss. 2-1. Close is not a strike, but
Nope.
It's a good pitch.
Close will get you in hand grenades.
That is correct. 1 out and the base is empty in the 5th inning. And the offering, that's down and away. 3-1. Even JJ's ball to strike ratio is not good yet.
Right.
19 pitches. The other day he had 22 strikes and 7 balls. Already through 19 pitches, that's 10 balls and 9 strikes.
Yeah.
And make it 11 balls and 9 strikes. And the Mustangs have walked 6 batters in the game to none for Mylander of Roosevelt.
Well, and the pitching is just not working for the Mustangs today.
Quite frankly, nothing is, because they've only got 1 hit.
Yeah.
And that came from Miguel Davila in the 2nd inning. Mason Sauer grounded out and singled. He's 1 for 2. The offering in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, the team just needs to get amped up and get going here.
Well, a little ground ball up the middle. Let's turn a little 6-4-3 and get back to the dugout.
That would be nice.
To the plate. That's a strike with a fastball down the middle. Center cut fastball there by JJ. It's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. Top 5, 7-1. Roosevelt short lead at first for Baldino. The pitch. Swung on line, foul. Oh, it's inside the line. Check that.
It hit the
It is
line.
fair. It hit the line. Around 2nd to 3rd is going to be Baldino. It's going to be a double. Man, I thought it was twisting foul, but it got chalk.
I saw chalk come up.
Man, with the way that ball came off the bat, I anticipated that too quickly, but it was a base hit and the right call. Wyatt McInerney walked and tripled. Yeah, he didn't hit it hard. It got fisted out there.
Yeah, it did. But it just passed third base and it hit the ground and you saw chalk come up. And
now they got to play the infield end, because if you get down 8 or 9-1, 7-1 is still big enough
doable.
deficit.
Yeah.
And the offering. Curveball is a beauty for a strike.
And they've come back on a 7-1 before. So they just need to really put something together.
Yeah,
We need to get out of
unfortunately, that
this.
was early in the season. They've had a couple of comebacks lately, but not for a victory. The offering, and that one skips away, but only about a few inches to the right of Diaz. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, and Diaz has been working back there today.
Roosevelt has 7 runs on 7 hits. The Mustangs, 1 run, 1 hit. 1 ball, 1 strike to pitch. Down and away with a breaking ball, 2-1. This is the number 8 hitter in the lineup, and they're just spreading out the hits. It's not only Caden Bryant and Seppi Salvatore. They're spreading it way out. The offering. That is a strike. Fastball, top of the zone. It's 2-2. To Wyatt McInerney.
Well, and a strikeout here would do them a lot of good.
The stretch by Marquez. And the offering. Swung on and drilled into deep center field. Lopez to the fence, makes the catch. Tagging up is Baldino. He scores. Sauer to third. The sac fly makes it 8-1. McInerney with the RBI. 2 down. That thing was hit very well.
It really was. I mean, it was out almost to the warning track there.
Here's Josiah Martinez, a pop out and a single. Roosevelt has scored in every inning but the second.
Yeah, and it's just, and their bats are working for them today.
Beautiful off-speed pitch for a strike. JJ now settling back into the strike zone. No balls and 1 strike. The stretch and the offering. Popped up. This will end at the top of the 5th. Second baseman Ortiz in the outfield makes the running grab. And the 5th inning for the visiting team is all over. In the top of the 5th. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and a base runner left. Roosevelt 8, Fort Morgan 1 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Bottom of the 5th we go. 8-1 Roosevelt. Isaiah Ortiz will lead off. Followed by Chase Prouty and Braden Hilser. Do we have some threatening weather there? I mean, I hope we don't have a delay. I mean, that's the last thing that we need here, especially with Fort Morgan down 8-1.
Right.
I think if you get through this half inning and it's still 8-1 and there's any delay, you say to yourself, well, just give them the game. Because you're really not giving them the game. The fastball's low, but you have 1 hit through 4 innings.
Mm-hmm.
And even that hit was just a ground ball into left field as the lights have been turned on. The offering, that's in the dirt, 2-0. Now, Fort Morgan generates a rally, different story.
Yeah, I mean, that totally would change the whole dynamics.
You don't want a lengthy rain delay to play 2 innings. 2-0 pitch. That's a fastball for a strike on the inside corner at the knees. Yeah, that caught the edge of the edge.
Yeah, I thought it was a little inside.
And that one is going to be a ball. That was the same spot, but one was called a strike. The other's called a ball. 3-1. Ortiz with a line drive that was caught by the first baseman for a double play. 3-1. That's a strike. No doubt about that one on the inner half. And now the rain. At least I felt a couple of raindrops in here. 3-2. Well, it rained and brushed yesterday a bit. Swung on and chopped over the mound. The shortstop charges. Bryan slings to first. 1 out.
Yep. Got him by half a step. Ortiz was motoring down there, but got him by half a step.
Chase Prouty struck out, but reached in a wild pitch and scored. The Mustangs' only run. Got to credit Mylander. He has not walked a hitter, and he was down 3-1. And Johnny, nothing cute. He's just throw fastballs with a 7-run lead. Yeah,
and he is just on it. I mean, and again, like we said, he doesn't have that many pitches under his belt already.
He had 48 coming into the inning. The pitch, breaking ball, strike 1, outside corner, and that thing had major movement to it.
Yeah, it really did.
He might come in with a fastball on the 0-1. No, it's another breaking ball. Woo! Those are 2 of the best breaking balls I've seen him throw in this game.
Yep.
No balls and 2 strikes. And Chase is right on top of the plate, just trying to make any contact he can. Swing and a miss, and he threw it even further away.
Yeah, caught him chasing on that one.
Well, you know that 1 of 2 pitches is going to happen on an 0-2. You're either getting the elevated fastball
or it's going outside.
It's going outside.
Yep.
All right. Who's the pinch hitter here? Is that Zwedzig?
Yes.
Yep. There we go. Keegan Zwedzig. Yep. Hitting here in Hilser's spot. Left-handed hitter. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Well, and a guy like Zwedzig doesn't have many at-bats, John. He might even not mess around with a curveball. He might just throw pure gas.
Yeah, just give him 3 BBs and try to get out of this.
And the offering. Fastball is up and away. It's like Mylander has dinner plans like at 6 o'clock, the way he's throwing. He
must has a reservation somewhere.
In town.
Yeah.
Because he's just taking that baseball and firing away. And the 1-1, and he bounces that one in there. even with the 2 balls he's thrown, 44 strikes and 16 balls. That's just great pitching.
Yeah, and he's very comfortable on the mound.
I love the word you just used there, comfortable, because that's what it takes. It's that self-confidence.
Yep.
2-1 pitch. Look at that one. Fastball, swing and a miss.
Right by him.
And the only way you make contact with that pitch is going to left field.
Yeah, that's the only way.
And Keegan was pulling that front side. And the 2-2. Good night. Swing and a miss. 1-2-3, 5th inning. To the top of the 6th. 8-1 Roosevelt on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Along with my buddy and brother John Prouty, I'm John Beltran. 6th inning, 8-1 Roosevelt. And really the story of this game, John, is Brady Mylander, the right-hander for Roosevelt. He has gotten even stronger throughout the course of the game. Meanwhile, good result for the junior varsity.
Yeah, taking Roosevelt down 14-0.
But here it's 8-1 Rough Riders.
Yeah, it's not going to be 14-0 here. Maybe the other way.
Yeah,
you know?
I was going to say.
Hopefully not, but.
Boy, but Mylander has thrown so well, and he's getting better throughout the game.
Well, and like I said, he's super comfortable on the mound. I mean, he's in his element, in the zone. And when you're in the zone like that, it's hard to get him out. It's hard to rattle a pitcher that way.
Well, and Mylander has not walked a hitter. Johnny's only struck out 4, but he struck out the last 2 hitters there. That's
right.
How good he's been.
Yeah.
Here's the wind by JJ, the pitch. And that's taken for a strike on the inside corner to Caden Bryant, who has not been retired today. Hit by a pitch, doubled and walked. He officially is 1 for 1. The right-hander to the plate, way outside, and the count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. Bryant, Mylander, and Seppi Salvatore in the top of the 6th inning. The offering, breaking ball is high. 2 balls, I should say, and 1 strike. What we've had this week, baseball-wise, is terrific weather, that's for sure.
Yeah, we really have. Tomorrow, we'll see. It's
bounces in. I think it's getting a little bit more favorable in Roosevelt. The wind will be a factor, but it looks a little bit more favorable. 3 balls and 1 strike. Marquez to the plate. That's up and in. It's a walk. Yeah, that missed a little bit. It was close.
Yeah, it really was.
The Mustangs have now walked 7 batters in the game. Second by JJ. Here is Mylander. And he's helped his own cause, really not doing anything. Grounded out, walked, hit by a pitch. I mean, there's something to be said for not being overly aggressive at the plate. And that one bounces in. Blocked by Diaz, 1-0. Even though the Mustangs have committed just 1 error, and that was in the outfield. Again, some of the walks have haunted them, and that is a breaking ball away. 2 balls and no strikes. Short lead at first. Bryant is not going anywhere. Now the throw back to first, back in diving. Diaz has already thrown out a base runner in McInerney earlier in the game. 2-0. Now the runner goes, and that's taken for a strike on a breaking ball, and he took off prematurely. That's why the stolen base was in there standing.
Well, and yeah, I mean, at that point, step off the back, but it was already, what's done is done.
Yeah, he was committed, and that's low. 3-1 to Brady Mylander. The Rough Riders lead 8-1 in the top of the 6th inning. Stretch by Marquez and the offering. That's a beautiful breaking ball for a strike.
Yep.
Ball 3, strike 2.
So filling up the count now.
JJ's up to 40 pitches in relief. The offering popped up, but that's out of play. One with a breaking ball. Remains at 3-2 to Brady Mylander. And you want to get him because Salvatore on deck has been really good the whole season. The pitch, Swung on line. That's going to be caught by the second baseman. Ortiz dives in the bag. That's late.
Oh,
Yeah, it was late. Getting back in
not by much, though.
was Bryant, but Isaiah Ortiz did a nice job. He dove, glove first, stretching out his body, but no doubt that Bryant slid back in just ahead of Ortiz's attempt. 1 out.
And that would have been nice to get that double play right there.
But credit Bryant. He read that well off the bat because he was getting his secondary lead, and he knew that ball was not going into right center.
Yeah, and it was just a slow line drive. Had it been a little hotter, I think he'd have got him.
Here is Salvatore, a double, a single, and a sac fly. 2 RBIs. Swung on, grounded towards right field. Second baseman is over Ortiz with a dive, and he's on the ground. It will be a base hit, though. He had to slide, actually, to his left. So it's a base hit, second base hit. Make it third for Salvatore.
Well, and I looked, and Strange had come off the bag enough. Even if he had fielded that cleanly, I don't know that there would have been anybody
there wouldn't have been a play. And, again, I don't know why Michael's doing that. You got to stay near the bag because he has no play. That is clearly either going to be a base hit to right field or your second baseman's going to get to it, but no way your first baseman is going to make that play.
No, if you have to go more than 2 steps off the bag, then you don't go. You get back to the bag.
And he's got to know that this deep into the season. Castillo, the hitter, 0 for 3. Runner goes in the dirt. Diaz's throw cut off by the pitcher, and then it's off the pitcher's glove, and it is covered over there by Charlie Langford on the backup. So second and third with 1 out, 1 ball and no strikes. Incidentally, 8 base hits now after the third of the game by Salvatore. 1-0. Castillo awaits the offering. Breaking ball, strike 1.
Yeah, that was a nice breaking ball in there.
Roosevelt leads 8-1 in the top of the 6th inning with 2 in scoring position and 1 down. The pitch. Swung on line, base hit right center field. Here comes Bryant. Salvatore crosses home plate, a 2-run single for Castillo. Now 1 for 4 in the game. 10-1 Rough Riders in the 6th inning. All he did, John, was go the other way. They've done a great job. Roosevelt has done a wonderful job going the other way.
Well, good hitting today, great batting, and they've just been good place ball hitters today. And I said it earlier in today's game, if you can place the ball, you can pick a team apart pretty quickly.
And they've done that, and they're going to be playing tomorrow. And that's in the dirt to Sansoni. 0 for 2, popped out, walked, and grounded out. Another run, and the Mustangs will have to score in the bottom of the 6th inning. The pitch swung on and lifted towards left center. Lopez coming in, and he makes the running catch. 2 down. Back to first is Castillo. That'll send up Dalton Baldino. He hit a short fly ball into center his first time up, but has walked twice since then. Oh, boy, look what I see there. A hot dog. At the ballpark.
I saw that.
That must be the best hot dog in the world. It's low.
Well, any hot dog you get at a ballpark is the best hot dog in the world.
Exactly. 1 ball and no strikes. The stretch and the offering. Breaking ball, strike 1.
Yeah, he caught him. He thought he was going to get hit, and it broke in.
On the inside corner. Count levels at 1-1. Again, Roosevelt has scored in every inning but the second. Outside with a fastball. Ball 2, strike 1. Here to Dalton Baldino. Short lead at first. The pitch. Swung on and tapped foul, third base side. Two and 2 to Baldino. JJ looks back, and the pitch in the dirt with a curveball. Well, Castillo's going to be taking off from first on a 3-2, 2-out pitch. So he's going to have a head start. Stretched by Marquez. There goes the runner. That's outside. It's another walk. Third issued by JJ. And Mason Sauer, who's grounded out, singled, and doubled, will now hit. 8 walks issued by Mustang pitching today, and Mylander has still not issued a walk for Roosevelt. And you think of 8 walks, John, you circle them around, that's 2 runs right there.
Oh, yeah.
Even without the ball being put in play.
Yeah, and it's just, I think it's just been the quicksand for the Mustangs today, and we're at where we're at.
The pitch in the dirt, blocked by Diaz. I think I'm seeing a little fatigue on JJ now.
Well, and Roosevelt is having a great day. They really are. Everything's firing for him.
Well, what happens is that when you're not throwing strikes consistently, the strikes you do throw are very hittable pitches.
Right.
He did throw a nasty curveball there, but he was, that's just one strike that he threw. And the 1-0, it's way outside. And that's the thing we've seen with Mustang pitching. We've had some decent outings in relief and starts, but I haven't seen 2 good outings in a row by a single pitcher this year.
And consistency is the key.
Yep, 2-0. The offering. Breaking ball is just inside. On deck is Wyatt McInerney. They've scored 2 in the inning. 3 balls and no strikes to Mason Sauer. The pitch. That's down and away.
I've loaded up the bases now.
Yeah, this would be a time for a visit just from the catcher.
Somebody's got to go just settle him down. Well, and your batter coming up right now has hit 2 doubles on the day, I believe.
Yeah, that's the other. Well, but he's got to walk a triple and a sac fly. So McInerney has swung the bat really well the last 2 times. The offering. That's a strike. McInerney's last at bat, John, was that screamer in the deep center that was caught by Lopez.
Yeah.
But then the triple, that was hit really well down the right side. Again, everything the other way. The pitch, way outside. Count levels at 1-1 to Wyatt McInerney. Runners take their leads. Bases loaded. Top of the 6th, 10-1 Roosevelt. The pitch, fouled off to the right. I think now if you're JJ, he might try to sneak in a breaking ball.
I would. I'd try to sneak
because
one
you got 3 pitches to.
Right. And, I mean, it'd be a good time for it.
Yeah, throw it right at him, and hopefully it'll hook right into the strike zone.
Count.
Yeah, 1-2. The offering, fastball is high. You could still do it, but then you go to 3-2 if you don't locate.
Right.
I think that would have been the better time to do it.
I agree. I mean, he tried to get him to chase a high fastball, and he wasn't going to chase it.
2-2 pitch. Swung on and grounded slowly to third. Davila backs up, sets, throws to first low, and it's not dug out. And here comes a second runner, and it's 12-1. No RBI and a throwing error on Davila, and Roosevelt is 4 across in the 6th inning.
And you got to make those. Those are routine.
I will say this, McInerney got down the line by the time he had to scoop it at first. But you're right. If the play is made, the inning is over.
Right.
Nonetheless, 1st and 2nd, those are unearned runs. Those last 2. And this is Josiah Martinez. And now, John, all this means is that the Mustangs, as of this point, they've got to score 2 runs to keep the game alive.
Right. Otherwise, it's done.
It is done. That is correct.
With a capital D.
But they'll have another shot tomorrow. You never know. One day to the next.
Got to learn. I mean, one of the things you got to learn in baseball is resiliency and how to turn the page.
That's a strike with a changeup on the inside corner.
Because we've said many times, baseball is a learning game of errors.
Martinez is 1 for 3. The pitch, swung on, grounded foul, third base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the good news for Fort Morgan, only 2 errors. You want 2 or less here on out.
Yeah, and that's one thing I will give them today is that the errors have been minimal.
The pitch, that's a called strike 3, no doubt about it. Fastball on the outer half. But once again, it's the second 4-run inning of the game for Roosevelt. 4 runs, 2 hits, 1 error, 2 left. They are 3 outs away because they lead by 11. Roosevelt 12, Fort Morgan 1 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. J.J. Marquez will lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. Fort Morgan's last chance unless they score twice. They trail 12-1. J.J. aboard on the only error committed by Roosevelt. That was on the second baseman, Martinez. Brady Mylander, through 5 innings, is averaging 12 pitches an inning. That's it. 62 pitches.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal today.
He really has. Masterful. He's allowed just 1 hit. And the offering. Fastball down the middle for a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. Mustangs, unfortunately, have committed 2 errors to just 1 hit. That's on the negative side.
Well, and the bats have just been dead today. I mean, the 2 errors, I'm actually happy with that because
right.
we're not.
It's not
giving,
too many. Fastball was outside, right? The 1-1 pitch, foul to the backstop. It's 1-2.
But Roosevelt's pitching has been exceptional, and our bats haven't been able to pick it up.
Yep, they've got a full effort here from Brady Mylander. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch swung on and tapped foul behind the plate on the breaking ball. Remains at 1-2. Marquez, Carrera, and Langford in the home half of the 6th inning. J.J. awaits the offering. Fouled on another bender. Took that one off the ground, but he made contact. It remains at 1-2.
But great at bat by Marquez, staying on top of that, and he's going to decide the outcome.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, he's facing a really good pitcher, but JJ's he's gonna keep swinging as long as those pitches are near or in the zone.
Yeah.
1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch swung on and grounded up the middle. The shortstop Bryant
he
boots it, and then JJ reaches. That's an error.
Yeah, he mishandled that.
Again, that's a second tough error on Roosevelt, but if he comes up with it, the play is made.
Well, it looked like he stumbled a little bit
as
he was starting to make the field.
He did stumble. I think that's how the ball came out of the glove, because then he lost his eye contact. Jaden Carrera is 0 for 2. Stretch and pitch. Fastball nearly clipped him. 1 ball and no strikes to Jaden. He had the game-winning RBI against Frederick in the last home win the Mustangs had. That seemed like it was 2 months ago.
It does.
The pitch, strike, fastball at the knees. And the count levels at 1-1. The Mustangs scored their lone run in the 3rd inning. Roosevelt a run in the 1st, 4 in the 3rd. The pitch, breaking ball outside, 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, and 4 in the 6th inning. 2 balls, 1 strike. Carrera's played, 3 positions maybe today, 2 or 3?
Well, he's played,
I think,
2nd, 3rd,
and left field.
And left field.
Pop foul out of play.
So good versatile player.
Yeah.
Good utility player. And he pitches.
Well, they need it.
Yeah.
2-2 to Carrera. Roosevelt with a 12-1 advantage. Very short lead at first for JJ. The pitch in the dirt, skips away. JJ to second. Well, you got a runner in scoring position, but again, you need to score 2 runs to extend the game to the 7th.
And I hope that they at least can extend it into the 7th, just because of the simple reason you don't ever want to get walked off the field.
That's correct. Well, at least they won't be on the field this time. They were swung on and tapped slowly.
Good
right
chopper.
Side. Martinez slings it to first for the out. Advancing to 3rd is Marquez. 1 out. Yeah, the only reason they were left on the field here on Tuesday is because they were the visiting team for Game 2.
Right. That's exactly right. And Game 1 on Tuesday, they played really well. It was a tough game. It was a battle back and forth. Game 2, not so much.
No. Here's Charlie Langford, grounded out and popped out. Charlie is 0 for his last 8. The pitch, bender, strike. On the outer half, it's 0-1.
Yeah, and Charlie was hitting really well in these last couple of games. He has just gone silent.
check swing did not go on a curveball in the dirt. 1-1. Yeah, they just want to make the play, and then they will allow JJ to score.
Right.
Because that run doesn't mean anything in terms of extending the game. The pitch, curveball in the dirt again.
But
2-1.
You put him on, he's got speed. Charlie's got a lot of speed. And, And Diaz is coming up, and Diaz can hit the ball well.
2 balls and 1 strike out of the windup and the pitch. Same pitch, same location, same result. I don't know why.
They keep trying to get him to chase.
I have no idea what Mylander's doing.
Yeah,
you're up by 11 runs, and you're trying to fool your way past Charlie Langford.
And he's not one that's going to bite that often.
That breaking ball's a strike, though. He stayed. That's called being stubborn. He stayed with it.
He did.
3-2. Yeah, I didn't think he'd throw him another curveball, but he did. 3-2 pitch. Down and away. And Charlie had a great plate appearance there.
Yeah,
he was not going to bite.
Going to get him to chase.
Because that was a really good 3-2 pitch, but it was off the plate.
It was. It was off the plate, and Charlie read it well.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that Charlie's got to go. So you get 2 in scoring position. Diaz has lined out twice. A lunging play by the second baseman Martinez.
Well, and Langford has the speed out there to get there.
No, they won't even throw probably. That ball is in the dirt again. I'll tell you what, Mylander's making life very difficult for his catcher Salvatore.
Yeah.
He's thrown about 4 or 5 pitches in the dirt in this inning, and he's really extended his pitch count. 81 pitches now, 1-0, low. I think Mylander is overthrowing a bit.
Well, I think he is. I think he's just trying to get this done and get it ended, and he's forcing it.
And the 2-0 pitch swung on and lifted towards right center field. It's going to be caught on the run by Sauer. JJ tags up. He scores. 2 down. Ball was struck very well by Jason Diaz.
Yeah, and center fielder had to range pretty well on that to get there.
Here's Miguel Davila. A single and a pop out. 1 for 2. Mustangs still with only 1 hit in the game, but have 2 runs. Fouled off to the right, 0-1.
Yeah, and that's how to play.
Highest number of pitches that he's thrown in an inning is this one. 22 pitches thrown by Mylander. Everything else was well under 20.
Yeah. He was throwing like 10, 15 pitches and
That's
walking
it.
off the field.
No balls and 1 strike. Mustangs down to their last out unless they score a run. The pitch, over but low. 1-1.
Well, the question is, do you send Charlie? He's got speed.
Well, I wouldn't now.
This guy's got a cannon for an arm.
I wouldn't. You don't want to be. That's even worse if you get caught on the bases. But he's going to go. Swung on and grounded left side. Should be a routine play for Sansone, and he makes it as he retires Davila. And the Roosevelt Rough Riders have won the game 12-2. Post-game show brought to you by Advanced Agri Solutions. Get a full plan of seed, food, and water. Call Dusty or Roxy, 970-571-2024. Roosevelt, 12 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors, 6 left on base. Fort Morgan, 2 runs, 1 hit, 2 errors, 2 left on base. The winning pitcher going the distance, Brady Mylander. The loss went to Isaiah Ortiz. Time of the game, 1 hour and 46 minutes. And the Mustangs really plagued with all those walks. 8 walks. Salvatore with an RBI double in the first inning. And then they really stretched out the lead with a 4-run third. Caden Bryant scored in a wild pitch after he doubled and made it 2-0. Israel Castillo with an RBI. And then Mason Sauer with an RBI single, actually 2-run single, made it 5-0. Mustangs scored a run on Jaden Carrera's ground out, plating Chase Prouty. But then they just kept going. Wyatt McInerney tripled and scored in a wild pitch. Giuseppe Salvatore with a sac fly was 7-1 in the 4th inning. And again, they scored in every inning but the second, and eventually broke it open, wide open, with 4 runs in the top of the 6th inning. And they win by 10 this afternoon in Fort Morgan. The Mustangs have lost 9 in a row, all in league play. They're 2-9 in league play and 5-11 overall. Roosevelt 6-5 in league play, 8-7 overall. And they're riding a 6-game winning streak, John. And
Yep.
today we saw why.
Right. Yeah, that pitching was phenomenal today, and pitching was the difference. And they're hitting. They had hot bats, I still think that their pitcher made the difference because we couldn't get a bat on it.
Right. Well, as they say, John, tomorrow is a new day.
It is.
And the Mustangs will be in Johnstown tomorrow. We'll be with you at 4 o'clock when Fort Morgan tries to split this 2-game series with the Roosevelt Rough Riders. For John Prouty, I'm John Beltran. Have a great night, and God bless. The final score once again from Eddie Underwood Field. Roosevelt in 6 innings defeats Fort Morgan 12-2 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.